let me mute the stream so I don't hear myself.
Yeah, you better hurry up. I'm unmuting it now. Didn't even use my standby screen. That's okay. This is kind of a standby screen, chat. Hi, hello. Welcome back to Failed Portrayal. Trail per fail. A show where we sometimes talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Some might even say most of the time.
70% of the time we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time.
Perfect. Yes, no nuts. Set on live, yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to fiddle with my background. Because we're firing off, we're firing in, we're here. And we're going to talk about Burning Abyss today. Because that's what the patrons chose. Do a Patreon poll roughly every month. You can vote on one of several archetypes. And you can check out it there. As usual, the voting is fairly tight. There were like 4 total votes, and Burning Abyss won by like 3, overwhelming majority.
Huh.
So, you know, like, anybody at our 5 and up level can vote. So if you want to influence it, obviously, if you want to be a new patron and influence it, that'd be great. I've already posted the poll for next time. But, you know, there's plenty of wiggle room for you to pick and choose in the months. And usually it's multi-voting, so you can just pick a whole slew of them. You know what also being a $5 patron gets you? Early access to videos like Wanted. Wanted Andromeda, out now on Patreon. Probably post it for public, like, at midnight-ish. If we have maintenance tonight. We'll probably have maintenance tonight. But if we don't, it might be later. But you can watch it right now on Patreon.
Sorry, I'll be a little late.
That's okay. I was reminding everybody that this is our patron bonus episode that was voted on by patrons. You can vote on episodes like this on Patreon. And also get Wanted. Up now. I haven't posted the Fanservant Friday one yet today because I'm slow, but we're fighting. We'll get there. It's okay. There's a tie on the last one, so everybody can suffer in silence for a day. One last note before we get started into talking about archetype-related things. I've tried to, usually when we do things, I try to get some funny and pick some different music backings. You should all know that I've always been obsessed with fonts and typography. My new thing is, like, picking music back. It's not actually that new. I do that in Wanted all the time with music cues, but I also really like picking appropriate music backgrounds. I tried to just find, like, some best of compilations of Devil May Cry music, and I discovered that at least in the YouTube search algorithm, those don't really exist. So instead, we just currently have a compilation that I will probably loop, which is supposed to be every iteration of Dante's theme, which is also appropriate, but it's just funny that that's how that worked out.
Is there not just a playlist of just, like...
No,
is
I
there
don't
no
want
actual, like,
a
Divine Comedy?
playlist. Also, I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to listen to that.
Okay.
Yes, trying to hear us over the sounds of sibling rivalry play.
It's very low. It's the normal themes. I don't even know. It'll probably be later games before it even gets vocals.
Was it rivalry or showdown? Whichever the final boss theme of Virgil is from 3.
I don't actually know. I haven't actually played a lot of DMC.
They're fun.
They are, but like I said, I haven't gone through them. Sorry, that was me. That was me paused to rewind the tape deck in my brain. I was like, hold on. I had something else. We were going somewhere else. I'm getting it back. But, yes, so, this is not directly related to Devil May Cry. That's the Fiendsmith episode. But I'll use different music for that, because it'll be funny. This is going to be an episode that is going to be all about Dante. So we will get a few of our licks in. And to answer a separate but technical question brought up earlier, I don't actually I prefer big compilation videos for backing tracks than a playlist, because a playlist could, like, ask me, hey, am I still watching after I flick through like 5 videos? And also it could it'll fill my YouTube history with 9 million videos that I don't need later. One big video better. Expand attention span. Increase brain technology. But, sorry, I stood up there for a second, and I forgot to talk so you could get folio. We're going to talk about Burning Abyss, which is about Dante's Inferno, the first book in the Divine Comedy, a.k.a. the one everyone reads because it's the one that's very spicy. It's very funny. Purgatorio and Paradiso are much less entertaining because they don't involve people Dante didn't like. Nor does it give Dante the opportunity to dunk on himself as much. And it'll be interesting because the wiki at least points out that some of the names for the Burning Abyss monsters are taken from the Sayers translation, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound that doesn't sound like what I remember. It's because I've got the Mandelbaum translation. I am physically here. Let me see if I can. No, me flicking the pages I don't think picked up in the mic at all, but I have the paperback of Dante Alighieri's Inferno, which I've mentioned before. It's a very lovely translation because on one half of the page is the original Italian, and the other half of the page is the English translation. Also, it's funny that chat says "Welcome to Hell" because, so this is Burning Abyss. This is a world premiere archetype, what we would call back in the day TCG exclusive, from Duelist Alliance. This is Duelist Alliance format, chat, and will involve Secrets of Eternity later. But the name in Japanese is just Higan, which just literally means afterlife. So they just kind of, keep it normal. Everybody else is, Burning Abyss, Abismo Ardente, stuff like that. Or I should say the Italian, Abisso Bruciante. Or it might be Bruciante. It's a CI, that might be a ch. For the most part, the main deck Burning Abyss monsters are all level 3 Dark Fiends, because they are all specifically named after the Malabranche. And the Malabranche are the demons who guard the 5th Bolgia of the Malbolge, which is the 8th Circle of Hell. The 8th Circle of Hell is the one with the evil pockets. That's what they're called, the Malbolgia, the Bolgia. And various things happen there because the 8th Circle is fraud. And specifically, the Malbranche, which in Italian means evil claws, are a bunch of quarrelsome, annoying guys who fuck with corrupt politicians by forcing them into a boiling lake of pitch. Their boss is known as Malakoda, Evil Tail. And then there's a whole bunch of them that are different. I think... I'm looking at them. Looking at the full list. I think all of these do actually have cards that correspond to them, which is always a little sad that we've run the course of the deck like literally over 10 years ago. So it's going to be hard for there to be more support. But I also think what was keeping them back from support was the fact that Beatrice existed. Obviously, while BA was pretty good when it first came out, it was one of those decks that received the, we added +1 card when the OCG imported it finally, and that one card was stupid super broken so that OCG players would play it. That's Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, not even in the fucking archetype, which is probably why they had to make her generic on some level, like a generic rank 6, because there would be no way to summon her in this deck of 3s normally. But I'm personally pretty sure that the reason why there's never been a pull for BA Legacy support this decade is because Beatrice has existed up and down the ban list, and now she is currently banned everywhere. So you should expect Burning Abyss support any day now.
I don't know if when I stepped away, if I assume it is a go, but I had thoughts about the actual Divine Comedy, but I don't think that's maybe it's not time for it.
I mean, if you want to say, you can say. I've mostly recapped already the parts of Inferno that are relevant.
Oh no, I more just took it as like the story. Most people see it as kind of like. Is it weird? I feel like people like pop culturally think of it as like an adventure story that has like weird pacing, but it's more of like it's an epic.
Well, I don't
poem.
think
It's a fan fiction based epic poem about political about actual like modern day politics of his life.
Well, it's not just that. It is actually a religious work. It's that, as I said, most of the religious philosophies in, not entirely, because of, as mentioned, the called shots on the circles of hell. You know, corrupt politicians do get a malbulge, we just talked about. But Purgatorio and Paradiso is much more about, like, eschatology and, like, you know, religious philosophy. The problem is that that's, like, very, very heady, very high level, and a lot of people, you know, don't recognize that as much as, here's all the people Dante put in hell, even though some of whom were alive. Inferno is absolutely much more critical. It is, I would say, critical about, like, politics, but it's also critical about everything. There's commentary about, you know, the nature of, like, love and lust and romance and, like, what he thinks about as, you know, good people versus bad people. If you guys don't know, in Inferno, Alexander the Great is in hell. He's up to his eyeballs in the burning lake of blood for the wrathful, because that's, you know, kind of like where Dante is at thinking philosophically. That, you know, conquering and killing people, not cool. I don't actually know if Julius Caesar's mentioned anywhere, actually. He might be in limbo with the good ones.
I think he's mentioned when Cleopatra comes up, but
there's a lot going on, including the fact that, you know, you want to talk about LGBT issues. While Dante does put his own mentor, who was believed to be a sodomite, as they say, in hell, it's clearly like Dante wrestling with that one. Of like, well, okay, so religiously, we should say that guy goes to hell. But also, I like him. I never thought he was that bad. And we've put Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, on screen. I will say that talking about kind of like the adventurification, that I think is an edgy consequence of shit like the video game version, which doesn't really have that much to do with actual Dante's Inferno anyway. It is a epic about a journey to the underworld. I would not say that anybody who thinks Dante, the poet, the character Dante Alighieri, is going on a quote-unquote adventure is stupid. It's a dumb interpretation. You're dumb and wrong. Dante never does anything adventurous. Dante, the writer, makes Dante, the character, pass out with fear every single time he needs a transition. He displays a horrible mythological monster of hell, and Dante passes out so that they could move to the next circle of hell without Dante having to explain how they got there. It's almost like the like prototypical example of Lovecraftian writing of like, well, I don't have any other segues, so it was unspeakable and terrible, and Dante passed out. He wakes up in the next canto, in the next circle of hell, and when he asks Virgil, what happened to, you know, them threatening to show me Medusa? And he's like, don't worry about that. They didn't show you Medusa, so you're fine. Let's keep going. Good job. But this is Dante. And I'm going to be honest.
Good job, you passed out and perfectly made it here safely.
Yes. So, a classic, you know, Dante traveler. Traveling, I think, works pretty well for this context. He's just a guy. Like, the image of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dante is just a man. We're not doing, like, a Devil May Cry ripoff. Man. He's just a guy, yeah. He's wearing, you know, a nice tunic. He looks okay. He's got a little wreath on his head. That's pretty normal. You know, he does have, like, a, you know, a kind of, like, I guess we would say, like, not quite adventuring bag, but we got, like, a kit of supplies. But in the poem, if those of you don't know, the character Dante begins on the surface trapped in a dark wood. Like, he is traveling. He is literally going somewhere. So, you know, having, like, a knife and a belt pouch would not be crazy. I'm pretty sure there's no reference in the poem of him, like, leaving all of his worldly possessions behind. Just that he's chased into the gates of hell in a dark and stormy wood by a she-wolf, which is probably a metaphor. Spoilers. Most things in Inferno are metaphors.
No.
But yeah, he just looks like a normal guy. The background work here is pretty stellar. Not exactly, but it kind of reminds me of Dore's famous engravings. If you don't know, Gustave Dore did a famous series of engravings about the whole Divine Comedy, which is yet another thing that I own. It's a much bigger book of Gustave Dore's illustrations of the Divine Comedy, but those are also super iconic. If you have, in particular, ever wondered, let me see if it's still. I think we might have moved it, but I think Discord changed how it was. But for a long time, that was our banner on Discord, was a Dore illustration. I think it was King Minos, telling the sinners which circle to go to. Because metaphorically, the Discord is hell. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about Dante's art design here. It's a cool background. He's kind of vibing. And that's him.
Yeah.
He's here. So, I mentioned before, all of the main deck guys are Dark Fiends. This is true. Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, is an Xyz monster. He is a rank 3 light warrior, setting us up for some funny stuff going on. Honestly, first of all, he is a completely generic rank 3. We should say that now. But Dante is a really good rank 3. He has been in lots and lots of decks, even outside of the Burning Abyss engine, but there's a lot of ability to him if you can play Burning Abyss as well. And I decided to make him first, not just because he is Dante, but also because this is kind of the... Sorry, itching my nose. Kind of the axis around which the deck turns. So, Dante is, as I said, rank 3 light warrior. He's got 1,000 attack, but 2,500 defense. Very big defense for this setup, which, kind of fits. 2 level 3 monsters, so completely generic. Once per turn, soft once per turn. Detach 1 material from this card, pick a number between 1 and 3, send that many cards to the top of your deck to your graveyard. Till the end of this turn, this card gains 500 for each card sent to the graveyard this way. If this card attacked, it's changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. If it's sent to the graveyard, target a Burning Abyss in your graveyard, except this card, add it to your hand. Note, please, that does not specify except Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. 2 Dantes do loop with each other. It literally just can't pick itself the physical card. It's a great mill strat. It mills 3. He gains 15, so he becomes 25. And after you attack with him, he goes to defense, in which case he has a pretty fat ass. Since you had to detach, you will probably have some stuff in your graveyard to add back to hand. A very strong little resource loop going on. We've got many options here, which kind of satisfy and enhance this deck, shall we say. There's a lot going on that you can get in there. If anything, it kind of just shows how decks in Duelist Alliance were different in that, yeah, this guy just kind of sticks around a while. He's very sticky. He switches to defense position, so it makes you less likely to lose life points. He floats, he mills, he gains attack so he can attack over smaller things. And in general sets up a lot of advantage for you. He won't OTK by any means with only 25, but, he'll do steady stuff. And that's kind of like where the deck was. It's a tempo deck. So, let me actually go to... I'm just going to do all of the main deck Burning Abyss guys, just like in alphabetical order. They did technically come out in 2 waves, but it doesn't really matter. I think the main thing I want to throw out there is that you will be shocked to find out that despite this being a TCG exclusive deck, as we called it back in the day, there is technically some censorship in this archetype.
Oh no, who could have seen that coming?
I know, weird. So our first monster is Alich of the Burning Abyss. This is the uncensored art. So this is the version that appeared when it was ported over to JP. And the second one is the censored. We just added a little metal bit because, yeah, it turns out Alich, if you didn't know, which, hey, I wouldn't... I mean, obviously, with the censorship, I wouldn't blame you, but I would also double not blame you even in the uncensored version, just because you're looking at a tiny postage stamp card. Alich is a woman. She has tits. That's it.
It's got thigh highs.
Yes.
We had to censor the already covered underboob.
Yes.
They,
no, that's
also
Well,
make
no,
it
it's
not
not
look like
covered. That's skin.
especially in 2015.
They also make it not look like boobs, I think. In the
Welcome
second art.
to welcome to gender affirming censorship. You can tell Alich is a woman because Yu-Gi-Oh felt the need to change her art.
They added I feel like the actor they added is just kind of like meh.
I mean, they just added a bridge to the weird boob plate spike bustier thing going on.
Well, now the spikes are actually
already
gonna
on
like
top
dig into
of
her,
like
but yeah.
a corset. I mean, you know, we're a Malabranch. We're an evil claw demon. I don't know how much we care about that, but yeah, that's Alich.
Are you trying to tell me that last week we talked about Hecka hands and now we're talking about claw hand demons?
Yeah, I guess. Also, Chad asking why you can't DVR. It's because DVR is turned off. You'll have to wait for the VOD. It's because it is known, or at least it was historically known. It's possible that YouTube has made the performance better if you leave DVR on so you can browse back while it's live. I am just assuming that YouTube didn't do that and has not made it better. We're still pretty early, so you haven't missed much. Got real Sean Connery there for a second. So, Alich, Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. This one's a little... I should also say, some of these names are going to be a little funny where they choose to abbreviate. So, Alich is named after Alicino, which is, again, an abbreviation of Arlecchino, the Harlequin, which is very funny to me, again, that they did this because I would assume that it was a Japanese artist who still drew Burning Abyss. I don't know why Japan keeps making the Harlequin a woman. Is it just psychic damage done by Harley Quinn? Because the stock character of Arlecchino in Commedia dell'arte is male. I don't get it.
I would hope.
Who did it?
Not.
Somebody did it. Like this is what I've realized about like things that keep happening in Japanese pop culture is somebody did it first, and every one of those things that comes after is a reference to it. It's just that thanks to the nature of like the anime and manga like localizing industry, I don't know who it was. It's like, you know, the fact that like JRPGs are all secretly derived from like Ultima and Wizardry because that's the games they had, and then it loops back around. The
also,
Japanese name though
is
for,
the base
for
of it all.
Alich is like I said,
and
Alicino, which is a derivative of Arlecchino. And I don't know if it actually means
Dragon
anything.
Origins back to Dragon Quest, Megami Tensei, or just Final Fantasy, really.
I mean, even the original Final Fantasy is a odd loop because that's definitely kind of drawing from earlier stuff, then also invents a whole bunch of new stuff. But yeah, Alich's design, censorship aside, is pretty normal, neato. You know, we're kind of seeing what we're going for with Burning Abyss. There are a lot of scary demon people. We got a weird thing on our face. We've got fangs, horns, hair, wings, fire. We add fire.
That's demon, all right.
Big spooky claws, which of course, keep your eyes peeled if everybody has scary claws, because like I said, the name Malabranch is Evil Claw in Italian. So, a lot of them have different substats. Alec has 1,200 attack and 0 defense. So, we're going to describe this card, and you're going to learn a lot of abilities that Burning Abyss monsters share. First of all, if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. The BA die. You can only use one of the following effects once per turn, and only once that turn. If you control no spell traps, special summon this card from your hand. Radiant Typhoon is just stealing Burning Abyss's notes. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target a face-up monster on the field negates effects until the end of the turn. Note that this doesn't say from field to graveyard, so Alich triggers if it is milled by Dante or detached from Dante, or if it's just destroyed and sent anyway. Also includes if it's linked off later, etc. Just if it goes to graveyard, if it goes to the yard, negate a face-up monster on the field. It's effective Veiler, I guess we would say, and you can special summon it if you have no spell traps. This is another thing that's very funny about Burning Abyss as like a archetype. Because almost all of them, I think all of the main deck ones, have that special summon condition, it's a deck which almost does not play any, like, spell traps. Even though you could play more normal spells because those don't linger. And it's funny because they have a couple of trap cards, but clearly the trap cards are cards that you're supposed to set up after you've done all your summoning. But yeah, no, it's a really interesting set of restrictions. They blow themselves up if they're not with any allies, or if you have a non-allied monster. And they can be special summoned if you control no spell traps. And then they usually do something if sent to the graveyard, but not always. They've got a bunch of different ones. Only one art for this one. So then, moving down the line. Babar, Malabranche of the Burning Abyss. And if you don't know, guess what? This guy's named after Barbaricia, which means curly beard. Also, hey, by the way, in case you didn't know, those four fiends from Final Fantasy are named after the funniest names.
Of course. It also reminds me of it's a Pathfinder demon, or no, specifically not demon, devil, just because it's different.
Yeah.
A Barbaros, which are basically refer to just Ironbeards. And they're basically like they're like the career foot soldiers of hell.
Makes sense if you're making classical references. It's usually, I feel like with tabletop RPGs, especially Western ones, it's usually either Dante or it's Goetic demons. Yeah. And like I said, the original name, which in the OCG is just straight up, Barbaricia, Barbaricia, just means curly beard in Italian. Barbaricia is referred to as the most serious and dutiful, and lots of other things going on. Provost of the other devils.
I gotta go.
So it has some appearances. Okay. Bye.
Wait.
Now it's just you and me, and we get to talk about Dante. And maybe talk about the four fiends. It's okay. We'll be alright. I mean, do you have anything to say about this large boy? This big lad?
Oh, let me get back to the proper tab. Not really, no. He just looks like beard demon. That's it.
That's okay. That tracks. He is pretty normal. I wanted to make sure you had time to respond, so I just was going to say that I deliberately avoided alliteration there. I did not say large lad or big boy. The big boy. So, Barbar is another level 3 Dark Fiend. He has 1,700 attack and 1,000 defense. If I recall correctly, because several of us tried to play this deck in Prague, we should say. We did our Prague series several years ago now, but we have some first-hand experience with these in kind of a time-traveling format style. Barbar was very heavily in demand for that 1,700 attack. So, you can summon him if you don't got spell traps. If you do got non-burning abysses, it die. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target up to 3 Burning Abyss cards in your graveyard except Barbar. Banish them if you do inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each. So a time card before the time rules were that. I don't think anybody gave a shit about that effect. So you can do up to 900 there. That can be used to close out games. We were talking earlier with Dante, right, that at most he's like 2,500 attack. So you're not OTKing with this deck. Burning Abyss is a tempo strategy, I guess we'd say, you know? Spend a lot of resources, do a lot of stuff, build your resources back. So, banishing them for Barbar, not very good. But he has a nice attack stat.
Yeah. You don't get him for the effect, you get him for the attack power.
Like, occasionally you might, like I said, you might do him at the end to, like, you know, pop off an opponent. But you never know. Okay, alright, so let me... Next up, alphabetically, Kagna of the Burning Abyss. Which is short for Kagnazo, which means nasty dog.
I was about to say, yeah, that looks like a dog, alright.
This is another one which I mentioned before. Some of the Malebranche, some of the Malebranchi, have a different name in a different translation of Inferno, which some of the OCG uses. So the OCG name for this guy is Harrowhound, but it's Kagna, a.k.a. Kagnazo. This is a guy you probably don't see a lot, so it's good that we get to look at him up close, where he is indeed a nasty dog. Studying
Gee, I
him,
wonder what
studying
effect or stat distribution he has that makes him not used as much.
him. Well, we'll find out in a second. I can tell you the attack stat. He's only got 1,500 attack, so not super great. Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything else to comment, and I'm like, nah, he's a demon dog, man. It's pretty normal. He has 3 horns. I wonder if that's intentional because he's level 3. If not, who cares?
Yeah. Who cares?
Hey, Loth, I don't know if you knew this going in why he isn't there, but you're absolutely correct. This is a dog-ass effect. So he has the normal 2 Burning Abyss effects. If this card's sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Burning Abyss spell trap from your deck to the graveyard. I literally just was talking earlier about how there aren't that many Burning Abyss spell traps.
Oh my god.
So
Future-proofing, but not the way you want.
So Foolish Burial Goods is cool, but I don't think that any of the Burning Abyss spell traps are that good that you'd want to bin them, especially because they're... if I'm recalling correctly, they have 2 normal spells. 1 normal spell is a ritual card. 1 normal spell is a fusion spell because they have a ritual monster and a fusion monster. They kind of went for an all extra deck types thing before that was cool. They have an Ixie, a Synchro, a fusion, a ritual, and a link eventually. So you know they're covering all your bases. Those do, I believe, have a graveyard effect, but you probably want them in your fucking hand. And then you have, I believe, 2 trap cards, I think, which are pretty good, and I do believe have graveyard effects, but again, are much better if they're actually set on your board. So, Kagna's a really weird one where, like you said, it's future-proofing, but it doesn't do enough that I think you'd want to, because you already have so many of these. There's, like, literally a dozen of these guys.
Yeah.
You already have so many names that it's like, I don't need Kagna. He's not doing enough. Okay, all right. We are. I'm glad we're doing this episode, even if it is a little slimline. Dallas said earlier he could not make it. Which is why we were debating at the end of last stream if we would be doing Predaplant, but that's okay. Predaplant didn't get any votes. Big Jal is sad. But I'm glad we are doing this because I have never looked at these fuckers up close. And hey, did you know Calcab is a centaur?
Hold on, not even just a centaur. A centaur that looks like it's got a weird fucking gaping mouth down the middle.
Yeah, it looks like his ribs are coming out of his body to eat you. So Calcab's full name in Inferno is Calcabrina. Calcabrina. That's also from Inferno.
My favorite weird-ass dolls.
Yeah. The doll thing is really weird. I think that was in the earlier Final Fantasy before 14 was like a weird doll thing. That's when I don't know why they decided to go there. But Calcabrina probably means graceful stomper or frost trampler. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Deciding to go centaur mode, not crazy. Like, he's got trampling stuff going on. But yeah, no, I mean, he's pretty metal, but I was definitely like, oh yeah, I did not realize there's a horse half in there. Never looked at that guy this close.
Christ.
Yeah, he's real freaky and or deaky.
I
his
don't like
OCG
looking
name?
at him.
No, it's very gross. It's a good effect because it's gross, but his lower half is very gross. We're gonna move on. His OCG name is Hacklespur. Not as dignified as Calcabrina. But he's got 1400 attack and 0 defense, and his effect, if sent to the graveyard, is target a set spell trap on the field, return it to the hand. This one's pretty alright because it means that if something happens where you end up with a set spell trap on your board that you want to get rid of, like if you set a Burning Abyss trap and then didn't have a reason to use it, on your opponent's turn, it gets back around to your turn, you can, send this guy to graveyard somehow and, get rid of it. You can bounce it back and set it later. You can bounce back your opponent's back row. He's a pretty okay utility piece. But he's not gonna burn down the house any. Now our next one, I do believe. Yeah.
Have some of him, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's probably like you could probably get away with a one of. And maybe these days you'd play more because you'd want to be able to bounce your opponent's cards back, but I don't know. Our next one is Seer. Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. Or it might be Cheer. There's no pronunciation guide for it. Siriato. So it might be Chiriato? Kiriato? Anyway, it means in Italian, wild hog.
Yeah.
Hence why
Look at
he
this
is a
Ganondorf.
pigman. Yeah,
Sorry,
he
not
is
Ganondorf.
Ganon. Very Ganon-coded, yes. Big, stompy pigman with huge horns, huge tusks. Got his chains everywhere. He's stomping around. The OCG name for this guy is Guttlehog.
Yeah.
Higa no
That
Aki.
tracks.
Gatoruhog. Like I said, sometimes the OCG names are a little better, like them actually calling Alecchino, Guttlehog is not better. It's very funny. Anyway, Seer target Dante target Seer. This is one of the all-time greats of Burning Abyss. 1600 attack, 1200 defense. Has the the 2 Burning Abyss effects you expect. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target a Burning Abyss in your graveyard, Burning Abyss monster, except Seer, special summon it. So if it's sent to graveyard, you just special a guy back. Like I said, one of the all-time greats of this deck. Absolutely sets up that very strong, resource loop thing. Like, it's a very useful strategy. Ugh. Sorry.
You right?
Clear my throat a little. All right, okay. We will move to our next guy. Next beam. And
Oh god,
yeah,
that's a blast from the past.
old school. I've been him. I will continue to be him. Oh my god, I do not like this him. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's good, but ugh. Sorry, this is, once again, never seen this guy blown up. Like I thought Seer was just like a rock guy. Because while I have read Inferno, my Italian's not very good, so you know I wouldn't know that his name meant Wild Hog. This guy is Draghig of the Burning Abyss. He is based off of the name Dragignazo, which means nasty dragon. And
You
he
could
is.
say a bad dragon.
You could say that if you were worried about getting demonetized.
Sorry.
I could also say this guy looks like a bad dragon, but you know, anyway. Google at your own risk. Anyway, yes, no. This guy is a nasty dragon. Like, damn.
Just a reference to what you said earlier, though, Omega. I need to kill!
I need to kill! It's a great video. It's a great video. Also, Dracula Flow is great.
I blame you for getting me into that brain rot.
I don't know. I just love Dracula Flow. I don't give a fuck.
Before that, I
If I
actually
had
didn't
$1
like
for
it.
every time I gave a fuck, I'd be broke.
So, question.
Yeah.
What's up with his weird claws coming out of his hand? Like,
Well, so
just the-
Malabranch is supposed to mean Evil Claw, but why does he have pink extras? I do not know. He's also got like a weird pink gem or scar in his chest. I don't know. I don't get it either.
It's like... what's the best way to describe this? It's like, hey, so you know your Tokusatsu hero? Here's the corrupted version of them.
Yeah,
You know what I
He's a
mean?
big nasty dragon. Oh, there's a Dragonazo enemy in Castlevania. That's cute. Sorry, just checking the trivias. But yeah, nah, he's a weirdo. He's a weird freak. He looks like a Castlevania enemy. The Castlevania enemy doesn't really look like it. It's kind of like a weird freaky fish guy. Draghaig is another one that like you can play, but you don't play a lot. He's got 1100, I should say. Attack, 900 defense, 2 Burning Abyss effects. If it's sent to the graveyard, choose a Burning Abyss from your deck and place it on top of your deck. Which is still pretty good because you have a self-mill strategy with Dante, but is definitely, like, not the greatest in the universe. These days, definitely, like, way too slow to be relevant, but a cute concept. Now, everybody in chat, get ready to point.
Oh? Is it them?
We've done D, and there's no E's, so it must be F for Farfa, Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. And Farfa of the Burning Abyss's name is derived from the Malabranch in Inferno known as Farfarello. Its OCG name is Farfarel, for instance. The etymology is uncertain, but could just mean goblin.
I don't believe you. I don't see any horrible takes with this character.
Honestly, like, it's... I will say this. Most of the others have had some decent run with their names. I don't really get what they're going for with Farfa here, Farfarello. Like, it... Again, the etymology probably means goblin. Farfa the Burning Abyss is a weird bird man.
Yeah?
He has no mouth and he must scream, but yeah, other than that, you know, he's a bird guy.
If you told me this was a demonic hawk guy, I'd believe it.
Kind of tracks. I mean, the design is pretty solid and pretty cool. I can understand why the content creator known as Farfa, formerly Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh, was like, this guy's pretty sick.
I do appreciate the work of the fucking flaming balls, and he's just like, yeah, I'm here. I'm not getting hit by these.
He's just chilling. But if also the other thing is that this card has a good effect. If you don't know, Farfa is 1,000 attack, 1,900 defense, one of the more defensive options in your deck. And its ability, if sent to the graveyard, is target one monster on the field, banish it until the end phase. Which obviously, Loth, you play Pendulums. You know how good. What's that guy? Timebreaker Magician? One of the Pendulum Magicians is target another monster, banishes both until the end of the turn.
Yeah. Sadly, that guy, I don't think I use him much in my Pendulum.
No, it's not as common anymore, especially as deck space gets tighter for better cards. But it was a very common effect for a lot of years. Obviously, Pendulum Magicians were first coming out in Duelist Alliance format as well. And it's just really annoying, and so this card, this little goblin, is really annoying. He'll steal your guy for a whole turn. And that is a very annoying form of temporary removal to just be like, oh, cool monster, he's banished. Also, keep in mind, that does also dodge some other things. Like, for instance, as opposed to just destroying a monster, banishing a Pendulum monster means that it doesn't go to face-up extra until, for that period. It goes to the banish zone for a while, which Pendulums don't really interact with. If you target an Xyz monster, its materials are lost. They go to grave straight away. So it can be a way to kind of, strip your opponent of resources. So, it's just, funnily enough, a really annoying card. I don't know if Farfa Malabranch of the Burning Abyss has ADHD, but he will banish your ass. And I think I'm looking at these, I'm looking at my list. So, of the ones, we're roughly halfway through the core main deck guys. Maybe about over half now with completing Farfa. So, out of these, I think your big winners are Seer and Farfa. And probably Alich, if you got it. Alich is basically just Effect Veiler. So you got, 9 guys you're really working for, and then cards like Kagna and Calcab are, sprinkled in. Again, you don't even need to play Calcab. Drahig is, usable in the early days, but is very slow. Barbar is okay because he's a 1,700 attacker, which is the biggest attack stat we've seen on these guys so far. But it's very funny to me that, we're still in relatively limited numbers, which we will be maintaining as we're getting another good guy. Oh my god, sorry, I forgot. This guy's OCG name is terrible.
Oh no.
It's so goofy. The original name, based in the Italian, is Graf. Graf Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. Who, it does look like he is supposed to look. I didn't ever think this guy was out there. His full name is Grafiacane, which means dog scratcher. Or Scratcher Dog. It could be the other way grammatically, but I like Dog Scratcher better. It's much funnier.
Yes.
So yeah, if you were like, oh, I don't remember Kagna being the dog guy, you probably remember Graf. Yes, Graf is a demon dog. Very, very, very gross, muscly demon dog with a rat tail. But yeah, you probably remember this guy because he is a dog that scratches. Look at him. Look at this big boy.
I know, but just Dog Scratcher makes me think his only gimmick is scratching other dogs.
I mean, look at his claws. They're perfect for it. He's got big claws. They're heated. He's the ultimate scratcher. But yeah, no. I don't even know what we'd call the aesthetic of Burning Abyss so far, of the Malabranch, I should say. It's very, I want to say, kind of like, which is very odd because this archetype's from the mid-2010s. But it's very, 90s core, Chat. I'm gonna do a reach back. Some of you may not get this. Let me grab an art asset to show everybody at home. But y'all ever play the SNES classic Demon's Crest?
No. At least for
Uh,
me.
It's a spin-off of Ghosts and Goblins. It had 2 prequels, but I never played them because they were like on the Game Boy. There was Gargoyle Quest and Gargoyle Quest 2, which were a lot more like chibi-fied. Demon's Crest is the 3rd game. It stars Firebrand, who's a recurring enemy from Ghosts and Goblins.
Huh.
But yeah, that's, I think, the only way I can describe the Burning Abyss archetype's like art style. Hold on, let me shrink this down, Chad. Guess what, Chad? You get to be Demon's Crest. I own this cartridge, by the way. That's why I know about it. I've played this game.
He's played these games before.
I have. Hard as fuck game, by the way. Like, had a password system so you could cheat code and get all your stuff, but it had like multiple different endings and like, you know, other bullshit. Really hard, old school. Well, what should we say? Like platforming bosses, and you had to like transform into different modes. It was a whole thing. But yeah, that's, I think, the only reference I have, like I said, for like a like 90s era you know, style. In fact, I'm gonna do a fucking music pivot right now.
Oh?
I'm gonna switch to the Demon's Crest soundtrack. See how you like that, chat.
Go ahead, I can't stop you.
It's true, you can't. But yeah, no. So Graf, like, absolutely just looks like an enemy from that sort of game, like a Castlevania, a Demon's Crest, that sort of a thing.
I can totally picture him in the old SNES style, like taking up one half of the screen as you try to like beat him up.
Yeah, he probably spits fireballs.
Yeah, and they bounce. You gotta dodge them by jumping.
Oh my god, yeah. I should say I forget to put my text overlay in, but I should put it so you would know. Not that I think you'd ever mistake what cards we were doing as not Burning Abyss, but I have a text overlay element for this purpose. Anyway, Graf is another phenomenal card. It is only 1,000 attack and 1,500 defense, but its sent to graveyard effect is special summon a Burning Abyss from your deck. So yeah, Seer summons from graveyard, Graf summons from deck. Phenomenal set of cards. Real good boys. And I forgot to mention his OCG name. In the OCG, this guy's known as Grabber Snitch. Yeah, what I'm learning is I'm not a huge fan of the Sayers translation.
Oh my god, these names.
Yeah, no. Like, I mean, we're trying to literally translate his name into something scary, but just call him Grafiakane.
No, waiting for them to show up.
Yeah, I'm grabbing our next guy. It's Libich. Sorry, chat. I'm gonna put him on screen so you can see too. Tell me, chat, if you also do a full head tilt looking at this, like my brain trying to resolve this image. Cause he's like a demon guy, but then I look closer and I'm like, but he's weird. He's a weird demon guy.
Does he have a claw on his head?
Yeah, he's got like a hand claw head with a ponytail. I've just now realized that he has like a spike on the inside of his elbow, underarm. Like, what the fuck is that?
This is a
Poke
guy
yourself
whose
in the side,
existence
bud?
is a guy whose existence must be pain.
And he also
Look
has a mouthful of weird teeth.
Okay, I was about to say that as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
you're about to
teeth
bring up his
suck
weird
ass.
forward curved teeth. Yeah. A pretty common look in like old style like medieval manuscripts and shit, but not practical at all for those weird big teeth. And I'm just like, what? Huh?
Oh no! Can you imagine? It's like, I'm gonna eat you. You look at his teeth, like you're gonna fuck up your own teeth.
Yeah,
with
how
that.
are you gonna eat me? Your teeth are pointed the wrong way around.
Legit, like takes one bite and just, oh no, cracked my own teeth because I bit into it because it's curved stupidly.
So his name is either Libicchio, Libich Ochio. Sorry, it's Libic or Libich is the TCG version. In the Italian, after that is then Occo, OCCO. So it's Libicioco, Libicocchio. I don't know. It means either windy or Libyan hothead. It's a very specific sort of insult.
I look at this guy and think, man, it's fucking windy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it either.
Secondly, I also heard little bitchio.
That might be a way to say it. The OCG version's a little cleaner. It's more like Libiocchio. Like just no two separate C's. It's just Libby and then Ocho. Anyway, Libich here is I think you can say it Libic or Libich. It's a truncation of a real name. But he's another pretty good one. He's 1300 attack, 700 defense. But his super cool effect is if he's sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 3 Dark Fiend from your hand, but its effects are negated, aka the BA no die. Yes, the destroy effect is conditional, but it is an effect that is activated, I should say, or like has to proc. Like if you're negated.
Ones?
A little. Like this is so between Libich, Graf, and Seer. Seer summons from graveyard. Graf summons from deck. Libich summons from hand, but it can also summon other not burning abyss Dark Fiends.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on a weird tangent here. Chat cannot see the fucking fail Portrayal chat, but recently I put a Curse the Cowardly Dog gif, and the fact that Omega says that Dante, how they go from each scene is that he passes the fuck out from fear. He just does a fucking Curse the Cowardly Dog scream every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, tangent, I don't like this guy. I hate looking at him.
No, I'm not a big fan either.
You see where he is? He deserves to be in there.
Let's grab our next guy. His name's pretty easy to say. Our next man will be Rubik.
Like
because
Rubicon?
guess what? His full name is, yes, Rubicante. And honestly, he looks pretty normal. I mean, he's a demon man, but he's working it pretty good. I guess my only question is for some of these is a bunch of these guys have a bunch of different colored fire, and I don't know why.
Each layer of hell has a different colored fire, maybe?
Maybe. Rubik is short for Rubicante. He is known as Rubicant in the OCG. Rubicante means red-faced. The red-faced terror. It's also probably a reference to a real guy known as Cante di Gabrieli, who was the guy who condemned Dante to exile.
Oh no.
So yeah, Dante didn't like this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I realized also he's a little high up in the image count. Let me scooch him down a little. But yeah, no, he's just a pretty normal demon man.
In the original, was it Divine Comedy? Did he also like to drink? Because that's my go-to when I hear red face terror. It's someone just drunk off their ass.
I don't know if the demon made any reference to it. I think he's just like he's a pretty minor one in the actual text, but the name is probably a reference to that guy whose name was just Cante.
Mm.
You know, just as is usual for Dante, just snuck in a subtle little barb.
Yeah. Just considering the entire thing, I wouldn't put it past Dante to throw in another dig like, yes, this guy, total drunkard.
Wouldn't be shocked. I'm kind of surprised given the red-faced idea that he seems to have more of hot pink fire. And
Yeah,
maybe
with the
that should
hot
be more
pink
like
and
a
the
reddish.
yeah, with the hot pink and the fire, you can barely even see the small red on his face because he's blue.
Yeah, he has a little bit of red in his horns, I think. He's got red eyes, and he's got, like, some facial markings. He's wearing, like, a red, like, loincloth thing. He's honestly pretty snazzily dressed. Like, he's got, like, a cape, I think.
Oh, much better dressed than little Bichio.
Yeah. He's
And
actually
yes,
got
I
a
am
belt
going
on.
to.
Hey,
That is how I will refer to him.
better than my attempts. He has a staff. He has a stick. So, Rubicante is, I will mention for the first time, yes, he is a Dark Fiend, but he's also a Tuna. This is your only in-archetype Tuna, which is good, because remember that you can't use generic tuners with this deck unless you're negating some things, because they blow themselves up.
Just thinking, we summoned and we explode! Woohoo-wee!
I mean, yeah, that's the edit I would do for this for sure. He's got 100 attack and 2100 defense. Unfortunately, I do want to say the synchro arm of Burning Abyss is pretty bad. I don't know why they shot themselves on the foot, but Rubik says if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss, destroy him. Cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Burning Abyss synchro monster. Guess what? There's only one of those.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was about to say, we only have the one, don't we?
Yes, Virgil is the only synchro target, so yeah. It's a little weird. That could be another way we could refresh this deck, give them a couple of other synchro targets, maybe? Anybody? Konami? And if you control no spell trap cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. You only use this effect once per turn. Rubik's really interesting, by the way. Well, not really interesting, but minorly interesting because while he has all of the big effects, the way his text box is formatted is different. Probably because it has a second condition on top of destroying itself. Then it has its, if you control no spell traps, you can summon this card. Note also, Rubik has no if sent to graveyard effect, so he doesn't generate you any advantage, though synchroing off will obviously trigger the other guy's graveyard effects. So yeah, honestly, it's really good that Ixie's Dante is pretty cool, and then eventually, you know, Beatrice and Cherubini, their Link monster, are pretty good, right? Because their Synchro Arm was super shot in the foot, because this guy is arguably a bad card. You can literally only use him to make Virgil, and he doesn't even have his own graveyard effect. And then, like, yeah, you can't really do anything further. So it's one of those things that's like, if they wanted the Synchro part of this to be better, they should have done a little more. Which is a shame, because, as we pointed out, unlike Libic, yeah, this guy actually looks cool. He looks neat. We like this guy.
Yeah.
Alright. But now we're going to grab our last normal main deck monster. I did mention there is a ritual monster, who we will talk about in a second. But, you know, we've had Barbaricia, Cagnazzo, Rubicante. That, of course, means we need Scarmiglione. It's Scarm. Scarmiglione, if you don't know, means troublemaker. And we're leaning really heavily on the Evil Claws thing.
It's him.
Yep. Scarm.
I'm
Pretty
actually
common guy.
referring to Discord.
Oh, yeah, because he's in the thumbnail, too, yeah. Yeah, Scarm and Graph are the ones they used in the mat, which we used as our thumbnail image. Oh, no, this is just I've just got the Demon's Crest OST on loop, but,
Yeah.
hey, this is OST fucking slaps.
Yes.
Oh, shit, Dallas is here.
Yeah, that's
I think that's what Moth was referring to. I was just muted because I was muted from last time. I got home from work. Ugh.
Nice.
To this ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. We've gone through the main deck, but that's okay, because half those guys don't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
To round it out, we'll
This
say
is
real quick.
Skarm.
Yeah, this is Skarm. Scaramalion in the OCG, as in Scarmaglione. The Skarmer is 800 attack, 2,000 defense, so not the biggest ass, but a pretty big butt. Has the usual 2 Burning Abyss effects, and then its specific effect is in the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add a level 3 Dark Fiend from your deck to your hand except Skarm. So Skarm searches, but only in the end phase, and is, again, one of the good ones. Let me reread my names and see if I can pick them out. So Alich is pretty good.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, the big 3 I want to say are Seer, Graf, Libic.
And yeah,
that's-
Libic and
That's
Skarm.
Graveyard, Deck, Hand. Special summoning, obviously. Skarm searches, and then you've got tech cards. Farfa banishes until the end phase, and Alich negates a face-up monster. And then you've got some guys who don't really do anything at all for you. Barbar is banish up to 3 Burning Abysses from your graveyard to do 300 damage each. Great, cool, thanks. Literally only play that guy because he's got the biggest attack out of them. Kagana was send a Burning Abyss spell trap to graveyard, which is like okay, but not necessary, if I recall. What the fuck is... Oh, Calcab was bounce 1 spell trap when sent to graveyard. That's another tech piece, like Alich and Farfa. And Drag Hig is put a Burning Abyss monster on top of your deck. Which is like... works, but is weird. So, it's kind of a shame that they burned through their slot of that is indeed every single named Malebranche in Inferno.
Yeah.
We've done them all. Sorry, clear my breathing a little there. But yeah,
I
so
will say this is one of the few I really, really don't like the Japanese names of. One of the few archetypes.
just Afterlife, yeah.
Well, no, just I think the biggest example is what they called a graph in Japanese.
What, you don't like Grabber Snitch?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, we did talk about that as they came up. Yes, some of the OCG names are based off of a particular
Oh no, wait, never
translation.
mind. Malakota's worse. Malakota's way worse.
I haven't actually pulled him up yet because we're about to do the ritual spell wombo combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Several of the names in the OCG are based off a particular English translation of Inferno, which tries to effectively localize the Italian nicknames of the Malebranche, and I'm just like, it's probably not worth it.
Varying degrees of success.
Yeah.
Like Farfa to Farafel to Farafello, that's fine. But
That's just they truncated that one a little.
The fuck is a Seer and Actually, Seer is worse because at least with Graf and Grabbersnitch, like, at least there's a G. Why is Seer Gutelhog?
Well, because his name is Ciriato means wild hog in Italian, so it's just like, yeah, hog, wild. But yeah, it's not good. Calcab was Calcabrina in Italian, and they went Heckle Spur, not great.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's the...
but Malakota is the worst one. I remember that.
I've pulled up the ritual spell, good and evil in the Burning Abyss, and I will pull up the ritual boy.
Bandicoota.
Yeah, that is, I've just seen the OCG translation. Hellraker. That's the kind of thing that the OCG thinks is cool. We're just like, he's Hellraker. But it sounds like the It sounds like the English localized title for an SNES game that was something like,
No, Omega, I will tell you
more complex
exactly what this
in
is.
Japan. What up?
This was a one-shot comic book villain from the 90s.
Oh, also so true. I mentioned this earlier. That's why I switched to using the Demon's Crest soundtrack from the Super Nintendo. Don't know if Dallas gets that one either, but it's what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
the Burning Abyss archetype in general, very 90s feeling. Yeah, either comics or video games, but like definitely in that oeuvre.
No,
And like even Malakota himself, who's a little off.
Oh yeah, no, this is
Let me actually just
motherfucker.
swap these around.
Motherfucking. Oh my god, why can't I think of the name?
Motherfucking.
I mean, that's very
Motherfucker.
appropriate because of what I'm trying to think of.
Just like bad motherfucker.
Todd McFarlane art ripoff of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
No.
Spawn
like,
OC.
Yeah. I'm not gonna blame Todd McFarlane for the state of '90s comic book, but Spawn was definitely, forgive the pun, a spawning point for a lot of it.
No, it tracks. All right, so this is their first crack at trying to make a boss monster for the archetype. Because we started by talking about Dante, because I don't think you can talk about Burning Abyss as an archetype without talking about Xyz's Dante.
Mr. Alighieri.
Yes, who is just a house, but he's not really good at closing games. Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, is a tempo piece who just never fucking goes away. Like, between himself and the other Burning Abyss cards, you just, summon him back, you add a new guy, you loop him back, you make him again, If you've got two Dantes in rotation, you can target the other Dante with a Dante and loop them. Like, it's just a deck that's hard to get rid of. And honestly, that's kind of how I would say Burning Abyss used to be played, was that you were a tempo deck, you were a grind game. You had control elements, but you could also swarm the board with just a bunch of guys and then, make some rank 3s and be to your opponent like, hey, you can't stop me. Good luck, I'm
Hey,
behind
fuck
1,000 demons. So I think Malakota was meant to be kind of a close the game win condition kind of a thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it sucks.
No, he's not very good. I remember that from our prog days. So
Like, even at the time, he's bad.
yeah, no, like I don't think he went far enough. So the Malakota Netherlord of the Burning Abyss in the TCG, Hellraker, Fierce God of the Afterlife in the OCG, is a Dark Fiend level 6 ritual. So, you just need 2 of them. 2,700 attack, 2,200 defense. You can ritual summon it with Good and Evil in the Burning Abyss, so we'll talk about that in a second. Must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned other ways. Bad sign. Very bad sign. Since you have a deck that can special summon guys back, that sucks. That's not great. Once per turn during either player's turn, send a Burning Abyss monster from your hand to the graveyard. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. That target loses attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of that monster. If this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, target a card on the field, send it to graveyard. So this is okay. The problem is that I want to say the effects are kind of at war with itself. Send a Burning Abyss from your hand to graveyard is good to forcibly trigger their effects. The problem is that most of the ones that do something good don't have an attack stat. So you will not be doing a lot of attack modulation. Like, I mean, I guess, 1,000 down is, like, okay. Some of them are, like, 1,500. You might get a couple in there that are good. But generally, they are on the smaller attack side, and lowering their defense doesn't matter. It does have a pretty funny float. If this card's sent from field to graveyard, target a card on the field, send it to graveyard. That can be a nasty form of removal. But it does not really create another proper win con. It's just another guy you can make. And the problem is that to make this guy, you have to include a package where you include copies of him and copies of the ritual spell, which could be bricks. And guess what? There's no fucking way to search the ritual spell in this deck. So you'd have to play like a pre-prep engine. Which is like, okay, but still. Good and Evil in the Burning Abyss is the Ritual spell card. It says it's used to Ritual Summon Malakota. Tribute monsters from your hand or field to level 6 or more. During your main phase, except the turn this was sent, you can banish it, send one Burning Abyss from your hand to graveyard, add a Burning Abyss from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that's really cool. The problem is that's the search effect that searches any Burning Abyss. Problem, that's on the Ritual spell you want to search. So, again, I don't... It's an attempt to organically grow a win con in this deck, but I don't think Malakota is it. Like genuinely, regular-ass Dante is better. Sorry, responding to something on Discord. So let's talk about our next target, Purple Dante.
Redeemed Dante. Or at least I assume this is Dante at the end of his journey.
I mean, he's all dressed in white and he's got a big stick, so I would assume so. This is supposed to be, he is the pilgrim.
Well, from what I've seen of anime, this is what Japanese people think Catholics look like, so...
I will say he's fairy type now, not warrior, so yeah, I assume this is after he moves on to at least Purgatorio, if not Paradiso. Yeah. But big Purple Dante here. We've already described him to you, chat, so now that you can see him on screen, you can see we're right. He's, first of all, literally purple. Purple is his secondary color here. But he's also white and gold. Actually, maybe tertiary color, because there's also a lot of...
I would say there is a bit of, there is a bit of twink death here. Like, he looks like he's bulked up a lot, not just because of the clothing.
Yeah, no, like, it's a lot of, by the way, ridiculous extra layers of clothing. Like, look at these fucking cloth layers he's got. He's got, like, a hood and cape over...
What do you mean? This is the standard
uniform...
This is a standard uniform of the Catholic Church when they go to kill vampires.
He's got a half cape under a cape and hood over a long sleeve shirt, and he's also wearing bracers, and he's got a girdle on, and he's got a robe, and he also has my favorite Catholic accessory, magical floating leg guards. Is this Dante perhaps a Gundam? Food for thought. But he's got a big stick. But yeah, Purple Dante is a level 9 Light Fairy Fusion. So, we're always playing with 3s. He's got 2,800 attack and 2,500 defense. So, even better than Malakota here. He does require to be fusion summoned with 3 Burning Abyss monsters with different names, which can be doable. Must be fusion summoned, can't be special summoned other ways. I've got to say this. They were really afraid of Seer summon back a guy, huh? Which I got to say is crazy to me considering this is the fucking Pendy summon era, so it's like everybody can pen summon like 5 guys every turn. Why are we hating on Burning Abyss like this? But the funny thing is also that it didn't actually matter that much that these guys were summon locked. Like, the deck was independently good. But Dante, Purple Dante, can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Once returned during the player's turn, send a Burning Abyss card from your hand to graveyard. Draw a card. Just cycle a card. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. That's right, it's a hand rip on float. This guy's good. Like, honestly, I think the reason why he didn't see more play, and I'm not saying he saw no play, but I do believe this was not your A game was not to make Purple Dante. But if you can make Purple Dante, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's untargetable.
I think he's pretty... I usually run him in Burning Abyss decks, just because, like, I feel like
No,
it's
he's
not
a-
as
he's a
many
good
hoops
one.
to jump through as other cards.
No, it's just 3 Burning Abyss monsters with different names, so that's, your whole deck is that, basically, because it's already a xenophobic deck. Like, the non-Burning Abyss monsters you play are pretty limited to shit like Tour Guide, because she negates, and a couple of other cards like that.
Yeah.
Or you just play all Burning Abyss names, so, getting 3 different names to make him is pretty good. You don't have to use the fusion spell, though they do have a fusion spell we will look at in a second. Actually, fuck it, we can pull it up right now. It's not like I don't think you're making anything else with it, because I don't actually know if it does anything else.
You can make like a couple things, but it's not good. Oh no, you can't. Never mind.
Yeah, it's only for Burning Abyss. That I will say is kind of the weakness of these guys, is that they clearly wrote these cards to be future-proofed, but then because I'm gonna say it, chat. I do not think it is a hot take. It is a very cold take. They gave them all this future-proofing for them to make more Burning Abyss cards, and they never did, because Beatrice was too fucking good.
I have the funniest thing about Burning Abyss is it feels a lot like DDD, except because it is not an anime deuteragonist archetype, it never got any support.
Yeah,
It has the
basically,
same
like,
kind of
obviously,
flops, the same kind of we don't play well with others.
obviously, like, you can argue, I think correctly, that they did technically go through all the Malabranch of the Burning Abyss cards. The problem is that it's still called Burning Abyss, so you could just do a different thing. There are lots of
there's
demons
a
and
lot of
mythological
things in Inferno.
figures in Inferno. Yeah, no, like...
Hell, you know what would be a fun thing to do? Have all of the specific people that Dante Alighieri hated and wrote about in the Burning Abyss.
No, you could definitely do some stuff. And even then, there's a shitload of big named, like, mythological creatures, like, reconfigured as demons. Like, Cerberus is in Inferno, King Minos, there's a Minotaur. There are harpies.
Dante's
in, like,
dad.
the forest. Yeah, there's also several, personal people to Dante you could bring up. So, like, there's, a lot you could do with it, and they just were like, eh. But Purple Dante's pretty good. He's a pretty good guy. The fusion spell is Terminus of the Burning Abyss. It's a normal spell that just says fusion summon a Burning Abyss fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So it's just polymerization. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a Burning Abyss. It gains 800 attack and defense till the end of your opponent's next turn, which is also, like, okay. Kind of wish it wasn't. It was just during your main phase.
Yeah.
But, like, there's literally a way better way to make this now, which is, like, oh my god, is it Bucci? Oh my god. I know what the big fusion is called. What the fuck is it's the hot new engine to make fairy and or fiend fusions with. It's not Duce. Oh, what's that fucking guy, chat? You know him.
I don't know, but Omega's hamster brain is working overtime.
Buio, there it is. Buio, the Dawn's Light. Buio the Dawn's Light is a dark level 3 fiend. But he lets you search a card called Mutiny in the Sky. Mutiny in the Sky is a normal fusion spell that says fusion summon a fiend or fairy fusion monster by shuffling fiends or fairies from your graveyard into the deck. And then you can add it back to your hand by sending a fairy or fiend from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. So, like, it's a perfect BA card. Like, it's a way better way to summon Purple Dante. Or as MBT would call him, Big Gay Dante. Which is funny because he sure seems to be holding hands with a woman in this fusion spell. But yeah, no, Mutiny in the Sky and then Buyo to search it is like a way better package. And also, they have a fusion target called Luce the Dusk's Dark, which is a level 8 fusion that's 3 Fiend or Fairies in your graveyard, which prevents monsters from your left or rightmost main monster zone from being destroyed by card effects, which would make the BA no die. So it's like BA support, but it's not really. But Dallas, yeah, if you haven't looked up Buyo, Luce, or Mutiny in the Sky, you should, because I know you love to do little decks. I don't think BA is very good right now, but the package is very fun. So, there's, like I said, there's pseudo support, but there's not full support. But let's take a look at their Synchro monster, who unironically is like pretty all right. The problem is that making him in this deck is a pain in the ass. Because their tuner kind of sucks. But it's Virgil.
It's him.
By the way, love the way they phrased this in the TCG. Let me see, was this guy later? No, this was in the initial set, so yeah. They just decided to straight up call him Virgil Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. Final Fantasy XIV Bard-ass fit. It's funny because the OCG is just Poet of the Burning Abyss, Poet of the Afterlife. It's very funny. But yeah, no, it's Dante.
Yeah,
Not
but
Dante,
we
Virgil.
get fucking Rockstar.
I mean, he's got a guitar. There's fire. He's looking cool. Not the correct costume at all for the Roman poet Virgil, but who cares? He's got a big hat. Isn't that neat?
This art of Virgil is so weird.
Yeah, I do.
It's like,
I will say this.
He's
I
an
don't
old
hate it.
man.
I don't hate it, but it is like super weird for them to go this route, because that's not like, it's a huge anachronism that makes no sense because nobody else in the Burning Abyss archetype is like this, and they're just like, fuck it, he has a guitar.
And also, he's not old.
I mean, he's dead, so I don't know if he has to be old. He's got some age lines in his face, but the going for like the vibrant redhead look is a little weird. Love the scarf though. It's just an odd case. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's just like, why did we decide to go this direction? I think this is literally the only time, despite how big a deal Virgil is, this is the only time he actually shows up in the Burning Abyss archetype, because again, they have basically no
Which
spell
is
traps. So.
Hilarious.
Anyway, Virgil is a light spellcaster, level 6 synchro, 2500 attack, 1000 defense. He's completely generic. You can only control one Virgil. Once per turn, discard a Burning Abyss, target a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, shuffle it back. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, draw one. You can only use this effect once per turn. So he's pretty all right. He's pretty decent in the deck. He, like I said, he shuffles back. In controlled or graveyard, which is pretty good. If he's destroyed, you draw a card. You float. That's all right. That's solid. We like that. Like I said, the only main problem is the fact that this guy's really hard to make in the deck, because it means you have to play. You don't have to play, but you probably have to play Rubik, the tuner, and Rubik can literally only be used to tune into this guy. Much like how you can only use the fusion spell to fuse Burning Abyss monsters, and there's only one fusion. There's only one Burning Abyss synchro, so... Meh. Meh. But he's pretty cool. I like him. I liked when I could make him when we were playing Prague, but it's like, definitely like not the most optimal build of the deck. All right, next we're going to talk about a big, important trap card. But guess what, chat? Remember how I said there was censorship? This one's got Alich in it. So they, even though you can't see fucking anything, they had to edit this card art. So that's the censored. Also, actually, that's a good question since you got here late. Hey, Dallas, did you know that Alich is a woman?
No.
Yeah, she's a woman because she has tits. How do I know that? It's because they covered them up for the TCG. As I joked earlier, gender-affirming censorship by Konami.
It looks like she fucking fell down while swimming, and he's like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
This art is bad, right? Like this is bad art.
It's a little weird. It's like Fire Lake's a pretty good card.
Yes.
But the art is weird. It's like oddly comedic for what we're talking about, which is, you know, a lake of fire, possibly the boiling lake of pitch that the Malabranch, you know, are in charge of in the Malbolge. The OCG name is like super simplified. It's called Drowning in the Afterlife, which is like really weird. I wonder if that's maybe like a metaphor I'm not getting, a play on words. But yeah, no, this art is not great. It's very odd. Like, I don't... Calcab's got, like comical sweat drops coming off his head, and, like, I think Alich is just, like, laughing. Like, it's weird. Anyway, this card is crazy good, though. This is a normal trap that says, send 2 face-up Burning Abyss monsters you control to the graveyard, which procs their effects, by the way. Target up to 3 cards on the field, destroy them. So, like, obviously it means you have to have at least 2 Burning Abyss guys to on board to do it. But, yeah, this is just super Icarus attack. And it's not even like a 3-for-3 because guess what? You're sending 2 Burning Abyss, so you're probably getting net positive card advantage off this. Crazy good card. Which makes it all the funnier that the art is like it is. And then our next trap card is... No, not that good. Very situational. Which is a shame, because the card art on this is really sick. This is The Traveler and the Burning Abyss. Or The Traveler Arrives in the Afterlife. So this is Dante at the Abandon Hope Ye Who Enter Here shit. This is literally at the gates of hell.
Yeah.
You can even see in the background the dark forest he's in around him. The card art's sick. This card is, I think, originally was simply okay, and now is, like, horribly outmoded. This trap card says, target any number of Burning Abyss monsters in your graveyard sent there this turn. Special summon them in defense position. You can activate 1 per turn. So, like, it may be possible for you to set this up as basically a soul charge. The problem is that is, like I said, on a normal trap is weirdly outmoded. Because they have to be sent there that turn. So that means if your opponent, like, board wipes you, you have to have a board full of them, but then assume that they don't just get rid of Traveler. And if you leave it to your turn to soul charge, then that means you're not special summoning any of these guys because you can't special summon them for free if you have spell traps. So it's a weird one. Honestly, that's an area I would love to see them, like, work on, is you could absolutely give this deck some more normal spells or maybe some quick play spells, you know? It does say you can't control a spell trap card, period, so I do believe that having a field spell counts. So, as much as I think it would make sense for them to have a field spell, it would also deactivate a lot of their effects, so you could probably skip that. But yeah, Traveler is merely alright. The other 2 normal spells are the Fusion spell and the Ritual spell, which again are just literally bog standard. Like, genuinely, there would be no reason, I think, to play Terminus over, like, just playing fucking Polymerization. Actually, hell, fucking, What level is that one edge imp who searches poly? Is he a 3? Is he a level 3 fiend?
Dallas, this is your time.
What? Sorry.
I'm asking which edge imp is the one that, or what level is the edge imp that searches polymerization? Is he like a level 3 dark fiend?
I believe he is a level. Is that's Savers? Yeah, he's a level 3 Dark Fiend, I think.
Yeah, so I was just saying that, like, you could genuinely just play polymerization in this deck over playing Terminus. You know, it's not actually any better.
Or just play Super Poly. It's better.
Oh god, yeah. Super Poly is also another one. So like there's no need to play that. As discussed, Malakota's not that great for a guy that like requires 2 monsters to summon. He's again merely okay. So the Burning Abyss spell trap lineup is something they really could improve because again, it's just you have to control those spell traps. It's not like super heavy where you need to have no spell traps in your graveyard. So like you could just have normal spells that do stuff. I guess it's just, you know, a question of if the deck actually needed the help, which is kind of the thing, which is it kind of didn't. Like, back in the day, straight up BA was pretty all right.
Oh, no, BA is... I mean, it was one of the... Arguably, it was one of the decks that shattered Yu-Gi-Oh! It was one of the 3 Duelist Alliance decks.
Yeah, one of the big ones.
It's just kind of like the one that... Well, no. I would put it in the middle in terms of which ones fell off. Because Klee really fell off.
Yeah, Towers Turbo is not really that helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I trailed off there because... So, allegedly... Oh, wait, is that all? No, wait, that doesn't even... Okay, chat, we're going to have to play Spot the Difference. So, the wiki is telling me that Beatrice's 2 card arts are separate. As in, one of them is altered and one of them isn't. I can't see the difference, so we're going to post Beatrice. This is the TCG version? Yes, Worldwide English. This is the OCG version. That's OCG version on the right. TCG on the left. And I genuinely don't see it. Like, she's still got... They fucked up the shading on her nose in both. Her dress is kind of see-through on both. I don't think they like altered her cup size. I don't think they changed which finger she's got going on, so I don't see it. I don't see it, chat. You tell me if you see it.
Is
But
there
yes, no.
some...
Good.
The only thing I can think of is that some shading near the top of her breasts to make it look like they don't exist?
Is that it? Yes, I think you're right, Loth. I think you did spot the difference. They changed the shading so it no longer suggested the bare minimum of cleavage, which also, to be real, it fucking didn't anyway.
Like, because I was looking at all the different things that could be censored, like legs, stomach, fuck armpits, who knows? But then I was like, okay,
No,
it must be something with the
her armpits are
chesticles.
fully out there, completely out there. But
I hate this artwork.
Oh no, the artwork of Beatrice is terrible. Like I said, I talked about this. They fucked up the shading on her nose. I guess it's because she has giant glowing wings behind her, but like she has shadows on both sides of her nose ridge, and it's like, don't do that. That looks weird. Like you either draw the nose in full or don't do the lines.
You know what this reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
This genuine, like I know I talk about comic book art a lot because it's what I know, but it genuinely looks like some of like the bad Marvel and DC art that you can tell is traced because all of the detail work is bad, but all of the like the outlines and proportions are good. So you can fucking tell this is traced. Like if this wasn't traced, I don't understand the person that did it because the outlining work is like perfect and the detail work is awful.
Yeah,
So,
no,
like,
I also
you
talk
either
about details
traced
like
it or you draw like a schizophrenic person.
her like not just the nose, obviously, but also like her eyes are weird because
Her
I don't know if
fingers?
she's got pupils. Oh yeah, it's the
They're
joints
melted
in her hands are a
together?
little weird. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
her hands are a little too wide and the joints are a little
But
oddly
you'll
detailed.
notice the finger and the thumb that are pointing outwards, that are outlining, those look perfectly normal. It's all the ones that are in the middle look
Yeah.
gooped together.
And
Like I said, I don't want to accuse people of
the
tracing.
cloth effects
but
are really good. I mean, it could just be that the
Yeah.
artist was really good at some things and not good at others. You know, like assuming that all the Burning Abysses are drawn by the same person, they were probably picked to draw fucked up
I
demon
don't
people.
know.
Because you
Maybe,
didn't get a
but,
chance
like,
to look at him, but normal Dante is just a guy.
I
Beatrice
always
is
get
weird.
that red flash in my head of like, oh no, this is traced, when it's like this specific way it's fucked up.
But yeah,
Because like I said, this is very, oh god, your audience is not gonna know this, but it's very Greg Land to me, of like, well, no, it's not Greg Land because it wasn't obviously traced from a porno, but
I am familiar with Mr. Land, but yeah, the audience might not get that.
yeah,
No, actually, you know, I do wonder if this is traced or something somehow because like I'll pull it up again. Because you can also see Beatrice in the art for Terminus, the fusion spell. She looks way better in that one because first of all, she doesn't have all this extra armor shit on her.
Yeah.
She's just, wearing a dress. But like it's harder to tell now because it's not as blown up as I could do it, but like her nose is drawn properly, like with nostrils and shit. The lines of her body are better. Her one hand that's out there is like not in the foreground, so it doesn't matter as much that it's not detailed. But on the other hand, her dress is a lot less clingy all of a sudden now that it doesn't have all these metal bits to hold it down. So I don't know what the artist was getting at here. So if it is Tracy'd, that could be it. Beatrice is also another one of those cards that in both. Both the original Beatrice and then also I'm pretty sure in Terminus as well. Let me double check its printings. But I'm pretty sure both of these cards have only ever been... actually, no, it was printed in gold rare, so there's like a... There's a non-foil version of this, possibly. But both of them, I think, were ultra-rare foils first. And actually, the original Beatrice is a gold secret printing first. So, like, you can't tell shit in these cards anyway because it's all foiled as hell and you just can't see. But yeah, obviously, also, I should apologize to chat. We were so busy talking about the Beatrice's art being weird. I'm sorry if I jump scared you. With not just one, but two Beatrices. One of Yu-Gi-Oh's strongest U's ever. Just like an absolute house of a U. And this is why, personally, like I said, I feel like it's a very cold take. The original printing of Beatrice in the TCG was 2016, so like a little late, but not super big. She was out about a year earlier because she was a fucking V-Jump promo in the OCG.
Yep.
Which is probably basically the way jump promos work is they're either absolute dog ass, literal poop from a butt type shit, or they are God's strongest warrior.
Or big threats.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shit is either gonna break Yu-Gi-Oh! Or it's gonna not do shit.
Generally, I feel like these days Konami is pretty good about mostly printing like weird anime and manga tie-ins that don't actually do anything on their own in the V-Jump slot. But yeah, several times V-Jump and Shonen Jump promos have been incredibly good. So yeah, that doesn't shock me at all that Beatrice was a Jump promo and then
can I give you a list of Jump promos? Because this is just funny.
Yeah. Hit the chat with him. Hit him.
So obviously the oldest is Elemental Hero Stratos. And then you think it would go downhill from there, But literally the next one was Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, a card that is still played.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Then Dandelion came as a jump promo.
Oh my god, Dandy.
Then Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
God, the GX era jump promos were
Oh
crazy.
no, Zexel's worse.
Oh.
You ever hear of number 16 Shockmaster?
I was about to say, oh.
Or number 0 Utopic Zexel? Both still banned.
Oh my god, Utopic Zexel was also a jump promo? God damn.
Yeah,
no, they have a bad history. So it should be no surprise that,
I'm not
Beatrice is crazy crap.
The Link era also has 2. One which I believe, is he banned or is he off the ban list? I don't know. Lingaribo. Summon Sorceress.
Summon Sork is not.
Yup.
She's not. Actually, she
was
might be. They had to
errata.
errata her. Yeah, I think they did
she was
finally get around to.
errata and
They took
unbanned.
forever to unban her in the TCG because they just didn't want to reprint her with the errata, but they did eventually do that.
And then not a banned card, but Shooting Riser Dragon.
Ooh, that guy was fucking everywhere. Yeah. No. So
Like I said, jump promos are
incredibly hit or miss.
Dumb.
Yeah.
So this is, like I said, this is my super cold take that the reason why Burning Abyss has not gotten any good support ever is because, well, that's not entirely true. Cherubini is really good. They got it. They did get their one of busted ass Link 2, which we will talk about after Beatrice. But I will personally say that there's never been a serious attempt to expand Burning Abyss as a deck and to modernize it because Beatrice has lingered in the wings. But now she is banned everywhere. She's 100 points in Genesis. We may actually be able to support Burning Abyss in this decade. Beatrice is a rank 6 Fairy Ixie, 2,500 attack, 2,800 defense. At the level 6 level, she is completely generic. What the fuck were you smoking? You can also Xyz summon this card by sending a Burning Abyss monster from your hand to your graveyard, for cost, by the way. Then use one Dante monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. If summoned this way, the following effect cannot be activated this turn. That's right. If you want to use her in your own fucking archetype, she's bad. Once return quick effect, attach a material from this card, send one card from your deck to your graveyard. So she's just Foolish Burial. She's Foolish Everything, actually. It's send one card. This is fucking, I forgot what the water dragon ruler was called for a second.
Idle?
Idle.
Yeah.
Omega,
as
please,
quick effect.
I
know.
You
We
played
played
him
Dragon
yesterday.
Rulers last night.
That's
I
also
fucked that
the only
combo
one I can remember. That's one of the only 2 I can remember.
If this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, send your graveyard, special summon a Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So that's how you can get to Virgil or Purple Dante without having to make them the hard way. But yeah, no.
Sorry, Omega. I do apologize. I did actually forget the most played jump promo.
Oh, which one
which was
it?
played in every tournament deck for about 3 years.
Oh no, what is it?
Tragoedia.
Oh, Trag was. That's right. He did get started as a promo. Yeah, no, he's crazy good. I think Gore's was not a
And
jump
also,
promo, like a manga promo.
to show the other end, the second jump promo of all time, Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship.
Yeah.
Eh.
Sorry, I couldn't help
Which
myself.
technically was banned from competitive play for a while.
It's until they
Shake my
ruled
hand.
that you can accept the concept of a handshake.
You can accept the concept of it. That is still my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that kind of shit would never fly in Magic. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, are you
Well,
stupid?
that's because Dallas Magic is a game for angle shooters, and so somebody would actually attempt the fucking Cheeto dust strat. They would like
Oh, 100%.
they would play the card where you ask your opponent if you want to accept a handshake, and then they would like lick their palm first, or something dumb like that. Like
Yeah, but the other player would accept it and just double dagger glare them.
they'd fucking
No,
say,
the other player would like put a thumbtack on their hand and be like, "I got you, bitch."
They pull out their Joker Joy Buzzer, and they're like, okay.
Oh, God damn it, Omega! I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, motherfucker.
Good morning.
You wanna
Yeah,
do
no,
this?
like that's yes. Not that I necessarily think
Pro
like,
Magic
Magic's way
players
is
are
correct, but it is
insane.
definitely like it is. Magic has a slightly different culture, shall we say?
The
but
pro
yeah, no,
scene of Magic is specifically is
yes.
kind of nuts.
But yeah, no. What the fuck? What? Who came up with this? Who's responsible for this? This is so dumb that like.
Is this the worst generic extra deck monster of all time? Like
Probably
just
not the
most
worst of
annoying?
all time, but this has got to be one of the most playable like generic Xyz of all time.
Honestly, I'm thinking it's between 1 and 2, and Beatrice is one of them. The only other one I can think of that's the same level of like, why the fuck is this generic? Is a Baron de Fleur.
Yeah, no, Barone I think did technically see more play in decks than Beatrice did, just because making sync
But
10s
the
is a lot more
things
flexible. Than making
Beatrice
rank 6s.
enabled is so dumb.
Oh yeah, no. I remember for years when she was because I believe she was banned for a little bit, at least in the TCG, and then they were like, we can let her back, and then it was like, oh no, you can't actually, you can't do that because it just became anytime you could make a rank 6, it was like, well, we could make Beatrice and we could foolish anything out of our deck, literally anything, and it's a quick effect. Like if Beatrice doesn't go away right away, you get to do it twice. And that's what I'm like, what are we smoking? Because, like, the problem is that Beatrice is worse if you're playing her in BA. Yeah. She's balanced to be played in BA and unbalanced if you can just make rank 6s.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think she's worse than Baron because at least Baron Baron is exhausting that it was in, like, everything forever. But at least Baron enables a part of the game that other cards enable. Beatrice feels like she
Baron
like
was like
cheats.
Baron only became the extra deck negate of choice just because she was simpler to play than playing like Savage Dragon, negates. Right?
I feel like there's literally only one card that has ever been like Beatrice. Spoiler: that card is also banned. It's Laval Chain.
Yeah, the chain's the other one that's like super bad, and he is in hell and probably will stay there forever.
Oh yeah, they should both stay in hell together. Like we need. Did you ever play the Dante's Inferno video game?
No, I did not.
We need to punish Beatrice from the Dante's Inferno video game.
Honestly, that would be. I mean, she's like super banned everywhere. We've once again, I think, permanently hit her in the past couple of years. Yes, they should make a different. They should make a new Beatrice that is better. I do like that you can use not just regular Dante, but also purple Dante as her material, and you are sending for cost. But yeah, you can't activate her bin effect when you do that, which is an effect that is unbelievably good and was unbelievably good in 2015 when this was printed, like I said, as a Japanese promo to promote, hey, we're bringing over this Burning Abyss shit. Beatrice is like the poster child of the, when this TCG exclusive goes to Japan, it's going to be crazy. Like, she is the poster of that. Not even Cosmo got as good as Beatrice, Hell, I don't even know what the UA busted ass,
I think there's only one. I think there's only one. Oh, OCG to TCG. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like there's
one TCG to OCG that I think is worse, but that was Wind Up.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
I posted you punished Beatrice.
Beatrice is like a crazy good card. It's unbelievable that they printed her with these effects, and then she fucking went to hell. She's stuck there.
Which is hilarious.
Yes,
the phrasing of that, it's so
ironic. Funny that Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, who's not even a Burning Abyss card technically, but like we've just blasted her ass. She's on the ban list.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
she's been put in infinite timeout.
Well, spoiler, because isn't the whole thing of that this might just be the game's plot, but she's an innocent soul that accidentally went into hell.
Oh no, Beatrice isn't even in hell in Inferno. Beatrice
Okay,
is
that's
is
just the video game.
Yeah, Beatrice is named after a hot girl Dante saw once, but she basically is the personification of the perfect innocent soul. So after going through Inferno, Virgil basically gets to Purgatorio, and he goes, by the way, Dante Alighieri, technically, by the rules that you've set up, I can't leave hell. I'm stuck in limbo because I am, I was there before Christ was around. So, I am a noble pagan. If you want to go further, you need a new guide, and it's Beatrice.
Okay, yeah.
Which is why she appears in Terminus of the Burning Abyss, like lifting Dante up to, the mountain of purgatory, maybe to heaven.
In the game, Satan turns her evil, and then you have to beat the shit out of Satan.
Well, action game stuff.
Also, Dante is a huge piece of shit.
Yeah, I've heard that about the game. But we did mention it before. They did get a Linky Monstie.
Yes.
They got a guy.
Cherubini.
Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. So, there is actually a black cherub mentioned in Inferno. Talking about it's in the circle of fraudsters. Basically, the Franciscan monk Guido da Montefeltro gave advice to Pope Boniface VIII, and then he agreed after Boniface said he would absolve him of the sin of his fraudulent counsel. So it's claimed that after his death, Saint Francis arrived to take Guido, but a black cherub appeared to assert hell's claim. So we're all, it's very funny that like we've only ever done the Malbranche. It's like we're already reaching. We reached a lot to get here. But the appearance here is based off of the tetramorph, which is kind of a common, living creature idea from Christianity. You've got lion, ox, eagle, and man. Also, allegedly cherubim wield the flaming swords, which turn you away from Eden. So lots of typical super Christian mythology here. He's pretty baller, honestly. Like he looks almost normal, and then you're like, oh yeah, he's got an eagle on his back. Lion head, ox head, shoulders. He's doing pretty cool. I'd love to see, again, this design more. But they didn't. They did not give more. So.
I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Never logged on again.
Yeah. Cherubini Ebon Angel is a dark fairy. Pretty typical for fallen angels. Linkus Tuus, 500 attack. 2 level 3 monsters, exactly. Monsters discard points you can't be destroyed by card effects. Why the BA no die? If this card will be destroyed by a battle or an opponent's card effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard. Instead, you can send one level 3 monster from your deck to your graveyard, then target a Burning Abyss on the field. It gains attack and defense equal to the attack and defense sent. You can only use this effect once per turn. Hey, how does fucking Cherubini have the already in what was this printed? Let's see. The original Japanese print was Link Vrains Pack 2017, so about 2 years after Beatrice came out. It took until Dark Neostorm, unfortunately, a couple extra years for it to be printed in the TCG. But how 2 years after they printed Beatrice did the OCG realize how to make Beatrice's effect fair? I don't know. But yeah, Cherubini is a good card. You see him a lot in any 3-axis deck, honestly. Because he can target himself because he is a Burning Abyss monster, which kind of makes up for his relatively low attack stat as a Link 2. 500's fine for a Link 1, but it's pretty low for a Link 2. But again, you can just send any level 3 to add attack and defense. So, you can increase its attack. It protects your guys at points too, which can be very useful. It has battle protection itself, so you kind of can set up some things. It's a pretty good card. Honestly, I think it could replace, or rather, I should say, it should fully replace what you would do with Beatrice in your Burning Abyss extra deck anyway. The problem is that, like we said, I would say the main things holding Burning Abyss back is that it has a very good resource loop, right? Like, you have ways to search, you have ways to add stuff. It has a couple of effects that are a little slow. Scarm only searches a level 3 fiend. Actually, I think it might be Burning Abyss monster. But it only searches during your end phase after it's been sent to graveyard, which is a little slow for modern play. Your big removal effects are, you can negate one guy, or you can banish one guy. You can do some very funny mill stuff, obviously, with regular Dante. So, you could build an engine around that. But the main thing is, it doesn't really do enough to clinch games, so it's not quite an OTK deck. It's not just spam a bunch of guys, run over your opponent kind of thing. But it also isn't really a control deck. You have some cards that are control tools, and you can kind of set it up. I think that was part of what Beatrice was supposed to do, was her quick effect to bin a Burning Abyss, right? You could do it on your opponent's turn as a disruption. But like I said, they made her way too generic and way too open-ended. It's bad. It's very bad for health of game. So, it's not a proper control deck, especially because, obviously, in the late Vrains into the MR5 format, right, post-MR4, we just talked about this, right, where, generic extra deck negates. Burning Abyss doesn't do that. Unless, I guess, you put 4 Burning Abysses and you make Appaloosa, except you can't do that now either. She's banned.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those decks that, but it's just one of those decks that just doesn't have the juice.
No. I'm trying to think, what would I do to make this deck cool again? And it's, genuinely just, probably,
I think it needs a couple things, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the archetypes that's so far behind the current level of Yu-Gi-Oh! That it needs, one of those support, packages.
Yeah, you could not do it as just oh, we're releasing a Burning Abyss tactical tri-deck with 2 new cards. Yeah. You couldn't do that. There's no silver bullet. You need a new wave of support. What you probably need is a couple of new extra deck targets. I could say, I don't know, a Link 3? A Link 3 could work, maybe a Sync 9? The Sync 9 should be Satan with his 3, because he's got 3 mouths. Yeah. But, give you a reason to actually play Rubik the Tuner. You need more synchro targets you can do. They probably need some more, like I mentioned earlier, they need some more just normal spell traps that do stuff. That doesn't fuck up your combo if you have normal Burning Abyss spells. So, reinforcements of the Burning Abyss wouldn't go bad, and then give it, a banish effect to do something. Shit like that. I'm pretty sure you already played Foolish Burial in this deck anyway. Because it's a normal spell that just sends a guy. Another fusion target could work. If you really wanted to do something with, a new Beatrice, you should make a different rank 6 that just does something different. You can. I think you can easily. These days, you can do fucking anything. Again, I just for fun played some matches with Loth last night, and I was playing Dragon Rulers. Allegedly Genesis compliant Dragon Rulers, but I'm not 100% sure on the list, chat. But their new big guy, Disaster, is just he's a rank 7 made by ranking up with 2 rank 7s. You can do anything with Xyz materials these days. You could literally make a rank 6 Beatrice that says, you can just play her on top of any Burning Abyss Xyz, You probably have to leave Malakota behind. He kind of sucks. You kind of gotta kill him.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because it's at such a. It's one of those things why I kind of like how Magic does things a little more. Of like, because with Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes, they're so like the archetypes that they live and die by their power. With Magic, the archetypes are so generic that like they will get their heyday again. Like
Yeah, I suppose.
Boros Control will be a deck again eventually, whereas
And some Burning Abyss cards are like semi-generic, like they're just level 3 Dark Fiends. The problem is that the deck itself is designed to be xenophobic in a way that, like, I think only Yu-Gi-Oh decks have this kind of problem where they don't even need extra deck locks, right? They don't need to lock you to summoning because the moment you summon something that's not a Burning Abyss, they all fucking explode. So, like, yeah, it's a really weird case that, not to say that, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Loves to do legacy support. It's one of their big things, and one of the reasons why people do like that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is technically an eternal format, because any little bit of legacy support, whether it's a one-card Silver Bullet or a whole support wave, can suddenly be like, oh shit, we're playing all the old favorites. Literally, I posted Jaxel's video on it today, but the next core set in TCG is going to post a whole shitload of rockets. And that will probably be playable in both a Dragon Link deck, and also you might be able to play just pure rockets. There might be enough good rocket names you can just play Rocket and Boral. You know? So, like, and obviously it's been a lot. It's been way longer than an MTG rotation period for Borals and Rockets.
yeah. Sorry.
Gotta mute himself, but or doesn't mute himself, but he's thinking about stuff.
I'm trying.
You should push the button on
Discord
Discord,
won't-
Dallas. It's okay. He had to tab over. I think. See, I can't be too judgmental about that because I could say I'm pretty sure there's a keyboard shortcut to mute in Discord, but guess what? I don't remember what that is off the top of my head.
I actually tried to do it. I tried to hit Control M or Shift M. That wasn't it. So I don't. Let me double check.
No, it's specific. I don't know. Okay, OBS is back.
It's telling me the live stream's offline. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was OBS disconnected for a second. Like I said, I joked it didn't like me talking about Among Us. But yeah, no. Like I really hope they do Burning Abyss support. I can expect that they probably will at some point. I don't know what product that would be in, because obviously that is when you are running a commercial venture. I mean, we did just do that.
Train all of the archetypes.
My God, that would honestly we could use it. I mean, I don't think you need to do anything for Shadows because like they actually have gotten their legacy support. They keep printing those guys all the time. But like. It's been roughly 1 million years since Klee was good. And, like, honestly, I don't know if they're afraid of, like, Towers Turbo being problematic again, but, like, you can run full power Klee Fort anytime, and I don't think it does anything in this context anymore. Like, Apocryphort Towers is not what it used to be because there's lots of other ways to get around it.
Well, unfortunately, it's just small.
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with it being attack overable. That's the thing. Like, you can't build too many unoutable assholes. But, yeah.
Cyber Mister.
I mean, that requires a lot of setup, though. Like, you have to go through a lot of shit.
What you mean a combo requiring 13 extra deck slots is a lot?
Yeah, to end on five or six materials to do it properly.
Well, that's to do the 6th one is you have to have 13 extra deck cards.
Yeah. Well, it's also you got to put those guys on the board too.
You have to turn the baby into a god. You have to turn the baby into a god. Yeah.
But also, not only do you have to climb through 13 extra deck slots, you also have to fill up literally every monster slot available on your board. That's fine. If you make a 6K unoutable asshole, then that's okay. You had to do a lot. Burning Abyss doesn't need to be that cool, chat. Like I said, I think they just need some. They do need some more thorough extra deck guys because they have this whole xenophobic thing going on, and they probably need to make it worth it for you to fucking run the fusion spell or the tuner. Because like for just one synchro guy and one fusion guy, it's almost not worth it. Like we said, I'd probably still play Purple Dante. I would play a different fusion card and package to get to him than play Terminus. You know? But it's a cool deck. Thanks for voting on it. We'll be back for more. We've got more polls for you to pick. Predaplant still on there. Fairy Tale still on there.
Yep. It will be until it gets voted. Did we do Ancient Warrior? We did Ancient Warrior.
Yeah, we did an Ancient Warrior one a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait for you guys to finish because I got something off topic to say.
Well, I think we're winding down. So next week we'll be back with more Phantom Revengers decks. I don't know yet if it'll be Killer Tune or Enneacraft, but it'll be one of those two.
Don't you mean Cool Tune?
I'm trying to avoid saying Cool Tune, yes.
Cool.
Because it's bad. It's terrible. You want to talk about Grabber Snatch? I don't know, man. Control Shift M.
Well,
Figure it out,
see.
Nels. We'll figure out what it is. But thanks everybody for tuning in. The Caldera Broadcasting should probably be starting soon.
I did that and it just muted my browser.
Wrong. All right, he did right. It's not a bulletproof tab. Okay, yeah, the broadcasting station is started at 9, so we'll leave you guys off with that one. If we are doing a maintenance tonight, which I think we might be, we're gonna go ahead and run this out here, and so there'll be a new Wanted posted. Hopefully you all watch that.
Yippee!
We'll be back tomorrow for Final Fantasy XIV, where we're gonna attempt to make cakes. Apparently,
I may or may not be late.
and we'll see what's going on there. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.